Hi everyone. Today we have Sandeep here, and then he's going to walk us through about the product of Fern. And then Sandeep, you wanted to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everyone. My name is Sandeep. I'm a software engineer at Fern. And at Fern, we build docs and SDKs for your APIs. So I'll give you a quick overview of Fern and then we kind of jump into a product demo. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. So we'll just go to our website real quick and then we can jump into a demo as well. But yeah, basically we offer docs and SDKs for your APIs. We have a bunch of cool customers like Square, Adobe 11 Labs, Twilio, Auth0, and a bunch more. And so we power docs and SDKs for a bunch of these customers. And so we have some cool examples that you can go check out. Here, for example, 11 Labs, they use TypeScript and Python and our docs. And you can kind of see like pretty nice docs. Right here, we have a full API reference as well. So they're all the REST APIs, things like that, are all documented. You can go and try it right in your browser, which is great. Things like that. And then really quick, we have a free tier for our docs, which is cool. So you can go and just try it, get started for free right here. So highly encourage everyone to go and try that. And so that's what let's do a quick demo of how that kind of works. And so let me go ahead and switch to that. Sweet. Alrighty. Cool. So here I have cursor set up, pretty straightforward. And what we'll do is we'll demo how easy it is to create docs and SDKs. So the first thing is typically we want a open API spec. And so the open API spec, if you don't know what that is, it's a kind of an industry standard way of defining your API endpoints. And so we support OpenAPI, gRPC, async API, a bunch more stuff like that, just so we have wide coverage of all different APIs. So here I have like a sample one. So it's called task board. It's like a to-do list basically. But you can see here there's quite a few APIs like get tasks, create a task, get an individual task, update a task, things like that. So again, this is like a standard format. And so all you really have to do is you create a Fern folder. Um, and then in our docs.yaml, this kind of configures how the documentation site is going to be set up. So we have a bunch of like configuration stuff here. Don't really need to worry about that too much. But all we need to do is run Fern docs dev. And so this will spin up a local dev server so you can test everything locally. I think I typed it in wrong. I did. Fern docs dev. Cool. And we're good to go. This will open up here. And so we have docs. And so all those APIs that we talked about are now rendered really beautifully. You can go try them directly in your browser. All that stuff just out of the box instantly. And then you might notice we have some guides here. So like this welcome, this authentication, these things like that. These are all written in Markdown with some custom components that you can import as well. So here in our docs, we can see like authentication. It's just simple Markdown, looks great. Um, you can see here we support things like tables, all that kind of all the things that you would kind of assume that we support. And then we have like custom components like this warning component. So that's like a call out. And so you can go here and you can see what that looks like. Right. So we have a bunch of these things built in. If I go to build with fern.com, Fern. These are our docs, obviously built on Fern. And you can see we have a bunch of different customization options, um, previewing your changes. We can do self-hosted on the enterprise plan, so you can run it in your on-prem systems. Um, but yeah, I think like if you need nice docs and you want them fast and you want your team to be able to publish to your docs. We're all Git-based workflows. We have a visual editor in the browser, all that kind of cool stuff. We got you covered. So um, let me show one last thing which people like to do. It's our components. So one of the things is we have a bunch of really beautiful components that you can just use out of the box. So for example, like things like cards, code blocks, um, buttons, badges. You can do little asides as well, parameter fields, tables, all this kind of stuff, right? So like things that you would want in your docs that you don't want to really build yourself and maintain because you're not building a docs company, we have you covered. Cool. And then shifting gears to SDKs, that's kind of like the cherry on top. Super easy. So I'm going back to this generators.yaml file. And so I have a TypeScript SDK and a Go SDK. And so I can do, let me just close my dev server, Fern, generate, like that. Let's see how good the internet is. So it's gonna make sure that my SDK is being generated for my OpenAPI spec. And so it's gonna check that that OpenAPI spec is good to go, and then it'll generate the SDK. So I'm just gonna generate the TypeScript SDK right now. Um, here. So I've already done this for Go and TypeScript, so I already have it cached on my local machine. The really cool thing is we can also push these to NPM, push Python to PyPy, Rust to like a Rust crate. We can do all of that automatically for you in CI. So once you update your API in one place, we publish all the SDKs automatically, so your customers get up-to-date SDKs instantly. Really cool thing is it's all fully typed. You can generate them locally and look at the generated code yourself. It's very idiomatic per language. And so basically I've gone ahead and created some test apps. I've created a Go app that uses it. So it imports it in from the local host right here. And then super easy to use. You can kind of see, we can create like a new client, create a project, create a task request, right? And it's all very idiomatic to Go. And then I wrote a little app in Bun in TypeScript. It's the same app, but it's TypeScript, right? And so you get the taskboard client, create a new project, whoop, um, creating tasks, right? And the really cool thing is these are all like strongly typed. Um, And so all of these type sense, all these type hints, all that comes from your open API spec. It's built into the generated SDK and like you're good to go. So yeah, super cool. That's like a super quick overview. You can get started with docs for free. And then if you're interested in SDKs, talk to us and we can get you started on those as well. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, that's so awesome. And Cindy, I just wanted to also understand a little bit from customer feedback side. What does the customers love you guys the most?
Yeah, I think our customers are usually like documentation teams, like technical writers, DevRel, folks who are actually building the APIs. So from the engineering side, people are building the servers, building the APIs, and they don't really want to like build a documentation stack as well and maintain that. And then from like a technical writing side, it's, hey, I want to just write my content and I want to not be blocked by like features that I can't use or it doesn't look good, things like that. And so I think with Fern, you kind of get the best out of the box documentation experience. And so your teams can focus on building that really great API and building really good content. And then we have some really cool AI features as well. So we have something called Fern Writer. It's a Slack bot. And so you just like say, hey, Fern Writer, can you update my docs? And it really understands all the things about Fern and so it can go and just write the docs for you, which is really cool. So we use that a lot internally where we just be like, hey, I just pushed this new PR, go document it, right? And then we also have like AI chat built into the docs. So we're seeing a lot of docs being consumed by AI agents. So we have full LLMs.txt support. You can export each page as Markdown, which the AI agents really like to consume. We have MCP servers built in. And then for humans, we have an AI chat where they can go and ask complex questions about your API. And because we understand your full API end to end, we can give you step-by-step instructions on how to perform a task.
Awesome. And with that, what are the three lines of the code that people need to know to start using the products? Or
Yeah,
two
so
lines of the code. Yeah.
the easiest thing is just go to buildwithfern.com, sign up for a free account, and then install the Fern CLI, npm install Fern API, and then you're good to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandeep, for walking us
Awesome.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for having
And
me.
yeah, thank you everyone for joining us too.
Bye.